on a second. Okay, welcome everyone. Today is our Zooming into Gems second series, third session, I think. Yeah, third session. And we are very happy to have everyone with us again. So this evening, we're going to share about ornamental gems, Lapis Lazuli, Malachite, and Turquoise. And as usual, we have like nice specimen to show.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, quite a number, I would say. So just hang on to the end, okay? The demonstration will be done at the end of the talk. Okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we are the co-founders of the Gem Museum, Kunming and myself, Huiying. And of course, we are FGA trained, we're gemologists. And with Andrew also. Andrew is the curator, and he's going to present to you some information about ornamental gems. Before that, we give a quick introduction to who we are. We are actually Far East Gems, and what is actually Far East Gems, consists of the gem testing laboratory. All right, so in the testing lab, we issue reports for gem testing, diamond grading, and also evaluation, like appraisals. So we use also advanced equipment for some testing because there are many different kind of treatment and all that happening in the market. So this is one of our I would say we do use advanced gem testing equipment like UVV, spectrometer, FTIR, and also EDX. Okay, if you want to know more, you can private message us on Facebook or email to us. And of course, we have Far East Gem Institute where we do training classes, and we are also Singapore's what is that called? Workforce Skills. WSG, Workforce, okay, never mind, it's okay. Anyway, we are tagged with the government, and if you are Singaporean, the courses that we run, many of them is actually Skills Future funded. Yeah.
And this is Fire Gems and Jewelry. We run this company to make people's dreams come true. And also carry on their heritage. We aim to protect families' heritage and continue them in gems and jewelry. So the next one is Far East Gems Import. We aim to be the best supplier for our customers, our jewelers, our designers, that you just focus on the design and we focus on the gemstone.
Very advertising.
We've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, anyway, finally, we come to the Gem Museum, which was established in the year 2015. And up to today, we are going online, we're going virtual, and we have a lot of programs that we're running online, like this one for a webinar. Of course, we don't forget that we like the physical, experience, the personal experience. So continue to stay tuned with us, okay? Because we are going to open up our museum somewhere around, end October, November, something along that line. And in between, we have exciting programs coming up. Okay? Yeah. So without further ado, I pass this time to Andrew. Okay, Andrew, go ahead.
Okay,
Andrew,
thank you. Thank you, Kunming and Huiying. So let me share my screen. Okay, so let's begin here. And welcome again, everyone, all of you all who participated today and the webinars before as well. So as you all know, we have coming to the second last of our Zooming into Gems of season 2, and maybe in the future we're going to resume the webinar. And as Kunming mentioned, we have many more programs as well. So today we're going to talk about ornamental gems. Okay, as the title suggests, we are going to talk about Lapis Lazuli, we're going to talk about Malachite, and we're going to talk about turquoise. Yeah. So as always, as usual, Kunming, this webinar is brought to you by Kunming and Huiying, the co-founders of Gem Museum, and myself, the curator of the Gem Museum, graduated in GIA as a graduate gemologist, like what Kunming said. Gaurav is a GG as well. And I guess during the studies, ornamental gems, they are usually opaque stones, right? So I would say it's really easy for identifying the stone because they have such a unique appearance to them. Although they lack transparency, there are many other features in them that gives them a very special look that allows them to become a gem instead of being a transparent stone. So ornamental gems, they have been used by humankind for a long, long time. And I'm gonna repeat the word many years, a long time ago, this word, because it traced back to millenniums, okay, a few thousand years ago. And it's also part of the oldest gems ever made by humans. So what are ornamental gems? Let's begin with ornaments. Okay, ornaments are defined as a thing that is used to make something more attractive. Okay, it can be a decorative item, it can be something collectible for your own collection, something is carved to place it on your desk at home and your office to make the environment look less dull, right? And gems, like this picture right here, is a carved lapis where and usually ornamental gems, they are opaque gems. Okay, they do not have the transparency like any other gemstone that can be cut into faceted gems that display good sparkle and brilliance, the internal reflections. So opaque gems, although they do not have the transparency, they have attractive colors and patterns. Different gems, different opaque gems, they have their own specific color and patterns, like what we're gonna see later. So like this deer lapis carving, we actually have a pair of lapis dolphin in our museum. So it can be carved very well. They are not hard like many other transparent gemstones. They are not hard. They are easy to carve and use in many different ways as well. So today we're going to talk about the very familiar ornamental gems, right? I guess everyone knows it, everyone heard of it, everyone seen it before. So firstly is the lapis lazuli, a midnight blue rock, very distinguishable, the deep blue color of it. And the second is the malachite, also very distinguishable by its curved bandings and its deep green color, right? Lastly is the turquoise, a sky blue hydrated phosphate mineral. And to be honest, not many gemstones that have the color of turquoise. I mean, to think of it, there isn't just a handful, maybe just a handful of gemstones, of hundreds of gemstones only have this sky blue color. So turquoise is unique in its own way. In fact, all of them are unique in their own way, right? So let's go deeper into details on what they are exactly. Okay, first, lapis lazuli. Unlike many other gems, lapis lazuli is a rock. Okay, it's a rock that actually composed of three separate minerals. First is the lazurite, the calcite, and the pyrite. Okay, lazurite is the one that is responsible for its deep blue coloration, the color that everybody loves. In my opinion, it's very therapeutical to look at the deep blue color, the lazurite. I mean, it usually formed in the dodecahedral crystal shape. Yes, it is in a cubic crystal system. So dodecahedral shape, it has 12 faces. Okay, like what you see here, you can see one of the face facing towards us, and there are many other faces around the stone as well. And they usually form in marbles, and it could display a very good contrast between the white marble and the deep blue coloration of the lazurite. So lazurite is the majority component of lapis lazuli. The second most component is the calcite. Calcite, as we all know, they have strong doublings, the ones that is used in gems, but the ones that is in lapis, they are non-gem quality. They are not as transparent as the gem quality calcite, right? And they are responsible for giving those white or grayish stripes in the lapis. Depending on the amount, it can be a little bit, it can be a lot in the lapis, and some people say calcite in a lapis is not very desirable. I do not know. It's up to you for decide. And lastly, the pyrite. Pyrite is the least component that made up lapis lazuli. Okay, it's an iron sulfate that gives that usually found in lapis in speckles of lapis lazuli, almost like a grainish type, reflective little grains, right? And pyrite, as you know, it can be silver or it can be gold, and it gives an edge to the lapis on top of its deep blue colorations. So as you know, lapis lazuli can be a gemstone. Although it does not have a transparency, it can be used in rings, pendants as well. It can be really, really nice sculptures, in carvings, ornamental objects, and pigments for millenniums. Pigments they use for cosmetics, they use for paintings. Although that's what people used before, some of the painting businesses, they still use natural pigments like lapis lazuli for people who prefer natural products, right? And yeah, so lapis lazuli has been used for 1,000 years, for many years. And who else loved lapis more than the ancient Egyptians, right? Ancient Egyptians, they love jewelries. Many famous gemstones can be traced back to the Egyptians, right? And Egyptians, they would use lapis mostly in ornamental objects, as you can see here. Not just ornamental objects, in many occasions, like what I mentioned, the pigmentations, the cosmetics, and even as a platform for other ornamental objects. And as you can see on the left, the picture on the left is a carved lapis sphinx, right? You can see the head on top, and you can see a very distinct separation of the lapis. And this, what I assume, is the calcite. And you can see parts of pyrite over here as well. So those are some of the artifacts from the ancient Egyptians. And on the right is more distinct, it's more recognizable as an Egyptian object, right? Pairing with yellow gold as it's a very good combination, like a yellow gold and the deep blue color of the lapis lazuli. In this case, it's used as a platform for the gold sculptures, and it's carved as well. Like I mentioned, lapis is not hard. It varies from 3 to 5.5 on the most hardness scale. 3 being, if you test it on the calcite part of the lapis, it would be 3 on the hardness scale, whereas the 5.5 is the lazurite, the blue color part of the lapis. And the Egyptians, especially Queen Cleopatra, you can see portraits of her with makeups, the blue makeups, and even Egyptians paintings that's painted in blue. That is where they use lapis lazuli pigments, right? And why do they have such abundance of lapis lazuli as a gem? It's because where they can get it from is mostly from Middle East. It has a very close proximity to the ancient Egyptians, and ancient Egypt, they are a very powerful empire. They own vast, I would say, many countries. And Afghanistan, they have been producing finest lapis for thousands of years, even back to where the Egyptians empire were. So where the Egyptians would get their lapis from Afghanistan, although it's very difficult job to do so, because Afghanistan is a mountainous country, right? Very mountainous, it's very dangerous. The geography is almost impossible for humans to climb up. And here is one of the traditional methods where the miners will actually go up to the mountain. They will carry bareback on the lapis on their back sometimes by donkeys. They do not have proper roads. They cannot bring heavy machineries up. They will either use at most explosive to break up the mountainous rocks in the region. And even until now, Afghanistan is still producing lapis lazuli, but the political situation there is always unstable in the past few decades. They have civil wars. They have many military coup, and so that means supply from lapis lazuli is very unpredictable from Afghanistan. And many experts they even want the lapis lazuli from Afghanistan to be labeled as conflict gems, almost as the same category as blood diamond, because the militants would just take lapis from the mountains to sell it to people to fund their war. So that is some of the things that is still ongoing, and we just have to wait and see. I mean, nobody wants to buy a blood diamond or blood gems, right? That is made money to fund wars, right? And so when we come to judging lapis, is a very subjective matter when it comes to gemstones. Everyone have their own preference, but for lapis, many say a blue uniform body tone is the most highly priced ones, right? Like the one you see that is labeled 3 on the right side of the bead is a very uniform coloration. It does not have calcite or even pyrite as well. Although pyrite, many people welcome pyrite, especially the gold-colored pyrite that really shines in the midnight blue color of the lapis. Calcite, on the other hand, it only brightens up the color. Sometimes it makes it grayish, like the ones on the left. In my opinion, it doesn't really look like lapis. It does not have the signature deep blue coloration. And the ones in the middle, you can see speckles of pyrite. It's not that bad, okay? But sometimes if it's too much, yeah, if you like it a lot, it's fine. If you do not like it too much of pyrite, then, well, just go for the number 3 here, right? And as I mentioned, they are used in pigments, right? And did you know that Vincent van Gogh's portrait of the Starry Night used ultramarine? The ultramarine is defined as the finely grounded lapis, the pigments that I mentioned before. Apart from cosmetic, they are used in paintings like this one of the famous paintings of our generation of our history, right? As you can see, the color really resembles the lapis, midnight blue color, finely used in this portrait for the Starry Night as well. So I'm sure there's many other paintings that use ultramarine too, but as they are not as famous as the Starry Night. Like everybody know the Starry Night, right? And apart from the picture is at the back. Apart from ultramarine, lapis was used in architecture as well. So that slide is almost the end of this slide. So I'm gonna mention it later, right? So the next ornamental gem I'm gonna talk about is the malachite. Again, it's a very distinguishable green copper mineral. It chemically composed of copper carbonate hydroxide. And malachite, the name malachite derived from the Greek word of mallow, for the color of the mallow leaf. I know it doesn't really look alike, right? The color doesn't really resemble each other, but that's what people like to use the name for an unknown mineral back then. They would just see, oh, it looks a bit like mallow leaves. Let's call it malachite, you know. And what we all know now is about malachite is its bandings, various shades of green bandings, very unique for its malachite. I think it's only found in malachite, right? And yeah, it contains bandings of various shades of green, alternating shades of green, deep green, light green, like what you see on the picture on the right. So depending on how people cut the malachite, it can be. I'm sure most of the people would want to show off its banding, but some other well-known companies are known to make it to just show off one strip of the bandings. And coming back here, malachite, they often grow in botryoidal shape, almost like easier to refer as the grape-like growth, right? You can see it is not perfectly round, but botryoidal really can resembles the grape-like structure of the minerals. And but apart from botryoidal, it can also be fibrous structure as well. Fibrous, it just shoots out it radiates from the center and it shoots out in fibrous structure. But usually, more often or not, is in botryoidal, and is where its banding comes from, the botryoidal shape. And malachite is made up of copper and is known to be one of the first copper ore. Malachite, people have found it in large quantities in certain deposits. So for example, Russia, the Ural Mountains to be exact. They have found large deposit of malachite and they have used to make wonders, right? Wonders such as this. Right now, yes, its primary use is as an ornamental material, like this gigantic malachite vase in Russia. So this malachite is actually mined from the Ural Mountains. It's just mind-boggling to imagine the rough malachite that is this big. You see, imagine you just stumble upon this huge malachite, you just stun right there, and the through mankind's touch, they carve it into ornamental objects, and you can actually use the lady at the back as a scale. I would say it's, I think, more than a meter tall, and you can actually fit one person into the vase as well. So it's really, really huge and finely carved as well. So malachite is not very hard to judge, okay? Their color is very consistent. The green and the bandings, they do not go very far like a lot of other gemstones that varies in color. So there is no fixed standard to it. For collectors, they like it, the raw specimen of malachite. For others that is going to use in jewelries, they will, of course, they would like it to be polished to show the bandings, or some they would like to use it as an ornamental object and they would carve it into the object of their likings. So here is one example of one of the famous jewelry company, Van Cleef and Arpels. They have been promoting exotic gems in their signature design. So the clover leaf with malachite, just a stripe, a brush of malachite banding across. And they also, Van Cleef and Arpels, they also use many other opaque gems as well, like the chalcedony, sardonyx, black onyx as well, even mother of pearl, sorry, mother of pearl. So it's a very unique path. There is, I would say, it's a very small market, very specific market for all these opaque gems, the jewelries. But nevertheless, it's one of the big companies, right? They can do whatever they like. So here is the picture that I mentioned in the lapis slide. Apart from lapis, the malachite that I mentioned that was found in the Ural Mountains, they were used as the pillars in this cathedral, the Saint Isaac's Cathedral in Russia. All of these columns, totaling there's 6 large malachite columns here. All of them, they originate from the Ural Mountains, the famous Ural Mountains. And the lapis that I mentioned before, right here, two smaller lapis sandwiched between those malachite columns. Those are pure malachite and lapis. It's just one whole piece. Again, it's just hard to imagine when you go into a cave, a mine, seeing a wall, a cave full of malachite. It's just mind-blowing, you see. So this is one example. Another example could be in your bathroom. All right. Yes, people made bathroom out of malachite. This is an actual photo of a malachite bathroom. So it has been used as tiles as well due to their abundancy. And if you ask me, I think it's a little bit too much. Okay. Although it looks unique in its own way, all of them are malachite. For me, I would just remove the walls. The walls is just too much for me. Even though I like green, you know, yes, for those who have attended past webinar, I did mention green is my favorite color, but this is just too much, right? But I would leave the sink, malachite in the sink, the tub, the step, and on the floor. That's it. No, not on the wall. So, I mean, it is possible that there are many other minerals that is used as tilings too, like labradorite or chalcedony agates. But malachite is really one of a kind. I mean, where can you see such a malachite bathroom? Maybe anyone here made a malachite bathroom, please inform us. All right, send us a photo and post it in our Facebook page. So last but not least, turquoise. Turquoise is a hydrous phosphate of copper and aluminum mineral. Yes, it is composed of copper as well, and the formation of turquoise is quite similar to opals. Okay, it involves the heavy rainfalls that picks up elements such as copper, and it will station in the cracks beneath the rocks. All right, and once it settles in the cracks and crevices, it will mix with other minerals, elements such as aluminium and phosphate, and then evaporation happens. Only then it becomes turquoise, almost the same as opal. And turquoise, it has much more coloration to it. It ranges from the sky blue to bluish green and yellowish green. So the copper is the one that is responsible for the blue coloration, whereas the greenish tone is caused by trace elements of iron. Okay, depending on the amount, it can be very green or it can be a slight tint of green to it. So of course, everybody loves the sky blue color, right? And back to ancient Egypt, okay? Turquoise is one of the oldest gems, okay, used by many ancient civilizations. Last week I talked about the oldest gem that ever used by humankind, which is the pearl, dating back to 8,000 years old. And turquoise, it is one of the oldest gem, dating as early, as far back as 5,000 years ago. Okay, as you can see, ancient Egypt again is one of the top consumer and influencer of turquoise. Why? Again, turquoise can be found in the Middle East, very close to Egypt. Okay, and who else? Who else dare not to satisfy the lust of jewelry from Queen Cleopatra, right? Queen Cleopatra is one of the most powerful queen ever, right? And influencer, as in during the time the later sorry, let me come again. During the later time of the ancient Egypt, they are very close to Roman, right? They work very closely, but eventually they went to war and broke up the relationship. But before that, the ancient Egypt were the one that influenced the Romans to use turquoise as a jewelry, right? As you can see, they have, apart from this picture right here, they have many other jewelries that is composed of turquoise. Depending on the amount varies, or it can be as much as this, or it can be just a turquoise pendant. And here you can see a very, I would say it's a quite uniform in color too, judging by their technology back then. They have, you can see some carvings on the side stone, right? It looks like a head of a sphinx too, or a falcon. I'm not sure. So this turquoise necklace is dated back to around 2000 BC, and there's many more, right? You can Google it, you can see it. Many of them are in museums, like this piece right here. And the country that satisfy Egypt lust for turquoise is Iran, very close to Afghanistan, of the lapis. Iran, they are producing turquoise again for many years, thousands of years from back then even until now. They have produced the finest turquoise. Not many countries can compete, although there are many other sources for turquoise, such as the US and Chile. And Iranian turquoise, they can be much deeper blue color compared to other places, right? And Iranian turquoise, they have this, right? They will not have a lot of matrix, but sometimes you can see white matrices that actually can be distinguished to be an Iranian turquoise. It is very subjective. I'm not sure whether other countries, their turquoise would have white patches, but mostly Iranian turquoise, they will have this white patches, the matrix, the rock, the host rock of the turquoise. And other countries like the Chile and the US, they will have this very creamy sky blue color. Also, it's a very beautiful. Some of them, they do not have any matrix or other inclusions. They were just uniform in color, very nice. And here you can see the turquoise mine is just all over on top of your head, at the bottom of your feet, the side and the side wall. It's just, although it's hazardous, but it's just an amazing sight to see the miners risking their life to mine gemstones out of the caves, right? And another significant feature of the turquoise is its matrix, like I mentioned before. Matrix, they can be brown, they can be white, and most of the time they are black, depending on what kind of host rock they are in. Most of the time they are formed in limestone or sandstone, that gives different color of matrix. So matrix, okay, turquoise matrix, they can come in spider webs, right? Like you can see here in this picture, spider webs is referred to the matrix that is evenly distributed. Not big patches of matrix, but they are fine black matrices. Just resembles the spider web, like this picture. It is a fine example of the spider web matrix. But as we all know, it's really hard to control how the turquoise would look during the formation. And spider webs turquoise is very highly prized by collectors. You don't really see it often. Most of the time, you would just see thick bandings of black matrices, or even many other colors as well, like brown, white, right? So how do we judge turquoise? So depends on you as well. Some people like it plain, clean turquoise. Some people like the patterns of how the matrix looks on the stone. So if you like turquoise without matrix, color should be even across the entire stone. Make sure to take your time to look all the 360 view of the stone to make sure it's even across, and any inclusions would lower the value or lower your desire for the stone as well. As for the ones that with matrix, just make sure the pattern captures your attention, right? If you see something very unique, it captures your eyes, something you can can spark your imaginations from the matrix, then that would be the one for you, right? And here, this one right here, I would say is a very nice turquoise with matrix. They have a very fine matrix lines. Um, this is, of course, I would prefer this compared to the thick patches of black matrices. And the ones that without matrices are good as well. They are really, really nice in a ring, very uniform, very soothing, very therapeutical to look at, you know, very calming. You just imagine the sky blue color. I mean, yeah. So a fun fact, as I was doing this slide, I stumbled upon this city, the city of Bukhara, Uzbekistan. So when I see it, it was just, wow. I mean, I have to include this in the slide. I mean, apart from ornamental objects, they are used in architecture. They are used in buildings as the roof of the dome of the mosque. So there are many places in this city that use turquoise in their architecture. Like most of them, they are in the dome of the buildings, the towers. Like what you see here, there are 4 towers covered with turquoise, and this one right here, and the 2 domes is when I look at this city, while I was doing my research, this city was very clean. I mean, of course they maintain it very well for tourism, but it is, their architecture is just so amazing. I mean, when I have this chance to go visit this city, I just think to myself, and so, do you like it? Okay, to me, I think it's a very unique way to display ornamental gems, the gems that does not have transparency. And so, actually, this is all for my slide. I really hope that you enjoy listening, and so I'll pass it back to Kunming and Huiying to show off some of their collection of the ornamental gems, right?
Hi.
Hi,
We're
everybody.
back. Yeah, thank you, Andrew, for a nice presentation. I think some of those architecture is very interesting and very amazing. You know, personally, I thought the Malachite one was quite nice. Yeah. So anyway, we have some questions. So do feel free to keep on putting more questions, okay? And before we answer the questions and do our demonstration, I'll just let everyone know what's coming up next. And so, as you have already heard, yes, you didn't hear it wrongly. Today is our second last webinar, okay? Next week is our last webinar. Sorry, I made a mistake. It is not ornamental gems. Next week, we're going to share about star stones, okay? Star stones like star sapphires, star rubies, and so on and so forth. And that will be our last webinar for zooming into gems. Okay, that's the reason is because for the next 2 months, we're going to set up the museum and we're going to bring also more interesting programs and exhibitions for everybody. Okay, meanwhile, as part of the 5Gem Institute, we still have the Skills Future approved courses. This is for Singaporeans only. And the topic is fundamentals of gemstones. So or even if you are not Singaporeans, you can also join in the class. It's just that you don't get the funding from the government. Okay, it will be sometime in September. Do keep a lookout at our Facebook page, our different social media pages. Okay. And in September, because of school holidays, we're going to run our Junior Rockstar program, Holiday Online, for children. We have 4 topics, that means 4 sessions with these topics. And of course, the last round, we had it in May during circuit breaker, and the kids really enjoyed themselves, and look at their happy faces. They explore gemstones, and we show them under microscope how the inclusion looks like, and their favorite is always amber. Right, so these are some other, some more photos. Oh, sorry, this is not the Junior Rockstar. Anyway, now we have our Zoom box time, okay? Zoom box time.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, let me
We have some beautiful,
share this one.
some beautiful
and go for this.
Okay. Some beautiful gemstones.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, okay. So here is some lapis. Just now, Andrew was talking about the different quality. So this one has some calcite. Oh, my hand's so big and hairy. Ooh, look at that. Some pyrite here, and then some calcite along there, and all over the stone. That's why you can see that this lapis, the color is a little lighter.
On top of that is the calcite is occupy quite a big proportion of the material.
Yeah.
So just now Andrew also mentioned about the quality, right?
Yes.
So this is an example of a medium quality, I would say, because the color is pretty nice.
Yep.
Yeah, and this kind of material, the thing about it is that it attracts different personality of people, you know, because it has like different pattern and different mixture of the mineral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ornamental stones is really depends on personal taste. Let me show you this. Wow. At this is slightly less calcite, more lapis, more azurite. Look at that, more lapis, and then some pyrite at the bottom. So nice. It's amazing how they form together.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see the next one up this quality scale.
Actually, not arranged according to quality.
Yeah,
it's just showing you all the
kinds.
different quality.
See, this has a calcite all over the stone with pyrite, totally mixed. So it's like a spotted lapis.
It's like patchy.
Spotted lapis.
Yeah.
You know, wow. Anyone not like this one? Anybody like the spotted lapis?
No, nobody.
Oh, no, nobody. The last piece. Here is a deep blue ultra. Look at that, deep blue.
I prefer the slightly brighter blue, the first two color. This is a deeper blue, but then there is a lot more blue than calcite, right? A lot more azurite than the calcite, and this big patch of pyrite there is pretty nice.
Very unique,
Mm.
Let's see the back side. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I want to show you some rough. Let me just show you. This is a lapis. It's a lapis with pyrite, calcite all over the stone.
Yeah.
It's like the ultramarine color.
Generally, those from Afghanistan has got this bright blue color. You know, we have some samples that are from Myanmar. The color is dull blue, like a bit darker, inky blue kind of color. Later, I can show you a photo of that. Yeah.
Yep. And one more is the dodecahedral crystal. This is rare.
Dodecahedral.
So look at the dodecahedral crystal. This is the crystal shape of Lapis Lazuli. So cute, huh? Anyone like this stone? Hang on, let me talk to our children. Children. Okay. The wonders of working at home. Look at that.
So this is really nice because you can see the crystal face, which is actually this is a rhombus shape. Yeah, yes. It shows the dodecahedral part of the crystal.
Yeah. Oh, I see that. Stephanie, you like this stone?
I like the color. I like the
color. I like the shape.
This is really nice. I like this. It's cute.
Everybody. Okay, let's go on to turquoise. Oh no, turquoise, right? Let's
no, yeah. So, but before that, let me just show quickly the picture that I mentioned just now, so you have an idea. If not, we move on to the next stone. Then so this is the one with the crystal, and this is from Afghanistan. This is also from Afghanistan. It's like Starry Night, you know. It's a very dark blue with all the specks of pyrite and so on, almost like Milky Way kind of feeling. And this whole lot here, these are all from Myanmar. Okay, as you can see the color difference, this is duller, the color is darker and less bright. Okay, a bit inky even, and the evenness of the color is also not there. So there's a difference in the quality actually. So far, I have not really seen Burmese lapis with that kind of color that Afghanistan lapis produce. I mean, Afghanistan produces. Kind of lapis that Afghanistan produces. Yeah, so this is an example. Okay, going back to the Zoom box.
So now we fly all the way to. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, zoom out a bit.
Yeah, zoom out.
Too big already.
Okay, here are some turquoise. Talk about turquoise just now. So this deep blue one, this is from Iran. So Iranian has a very distinctive. Okay, this color you can find it also in America, like the Sleeping Beauty mine. This is Iran, very nice blue. Followed by the next one we have from Chile. Chile. This is Chile.
Yeah. Some people like this color.
Yeah, this
Tiffany turquoise is about this color, but a little bit greenish.
I mean the color lah.
Yeah,
Tiffany
color, Tiffany
not
color. So
turquoise.
Tiffany color is like a turquoise color.
And this is from China.
This is from China with the Chinese carving.
Hey.
You turn it around. Yeah, so Andrew mentioned about the veins. So these are the natural veins of the turquoise.
Yeah, some people like this. It gives it a very antique look.
Yeah.
And the bottom two are
It's
turquoise, but
accessories.
accessory grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So
focus.
focus it. And
Yeah.
then,
Actually, I like this piece.
oh, what kind of beauty do you see in this?
I don't know, it's rugged, and then it kind of like the look of it seems to carry the history together, you know, like the ones that Andrew showed just now, the Cleopatra ones and the Egyptian ones, you know.
Yeah, maybe this was dug up from somewhere there.
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure, but anyway, it gives that feel like it's not perfect, and I think that's quite nice because it's not perfect. And we have a big piece over here. This one is from China. You can have a look at the veins also. It's quite interesting.
This is very unique.
Yeah, unique appearance.
Wow.
You move this camera away a bit.
Yeah, cannot. Today we are trying out new space.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that.
Yeah. So this is quite interesting, and this is all natural. You can see the mixture of the material, the vein. Even there's some greenish portion, as what this Andrew mentioned just now. There's a bit more iron, and the bluish part is all the copper. So it's quite a mixture over here. It's pretty interesting. And we see a question by Michelle. Is it true that sky blue turquoise will oxidize and turn green over time? And so, in our opinion, it's not so much, because if it is true, then all these would have turned green a long time ago. I think it really depends on the material itself, where it's from, and the chemical composition that is already in there. Okay, so you see our samples, the ones that we just showed just now. They've been around. It's our student samples.
At least 20 years.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time, and it's not turned green yet.
But maybe if you wear it daily, because our perspiration and the kinds of chemicals we are exposed to daily, so maybe that will have a different effect.
Yeah. On top of that, most of the materials that is like already polished and cabochon or even in carvings, right, they're usually coated with wax. Yes. So if it is coated with wax, the chances of it getting oxidized is also not very high. Yeah. Sometimes
the wax oxidizes, then it becomes yellowish. Yeah.
The wax itself. Okay, so this is the turquoise. Later we'll show you some exciting ones. Okay.
Okay.
So let's finish this one first.
Let me pick out this whole stack.
Yeah, sure. Let's move on to the green stone. Okay, green stone.
Green stone.
The one that it's too much for Andrew if it is
Yeah,
the entire
come.
bathroom.
So I hope next time you have a bathroom like this. I would like to bathe in the bathroom. Feels
Andrew has something to say.
so nice.
Go ahead.
So here is a very beautiful piece of malachite. Let me zoom in a bit.
Oh, this is really nice.
This is one of our samples. It's from Zaire. Look at that.
Zaire.
Looks, see the boctroidal growth, like spraying out from the bitter. Then, hang on. Children. Look at that. How many of you like this stone?
But this is quite fragile.
Yeah, very fragile.
Yeah,
this is
it's
just
quite
a
fragile.
display piece.
If it is like a massive piece, it's much better. Yeah, you can see a lot of these materials actually on Instagram, Facebook. Not so much Facebook, Instagram. There are very, very nice specimen out there. Yeah, very nice and amazing specimen.
Okay, let's check this out.
Okay, and then another one is showing
This
boctroidal.
from Shilu.
This is
China.
Chinese one.
Chinese. Look at the boctroidal.
Yeah.
See the bending here?
Nice bending.
Boctroidal. Yeah, and this is all copper. Copper. After this, I have to wash my hands because it's actually poisonous. Ooh. All right, let me show you another one from China.
It's just like slightly different size.
Now this
But they're all boctroidal.
This is very cute.
In habit, okay? It's boctroidal in habit. This is a cute one.
See?
I like it very much.
It's like a snail. Yeah, hi. How's life? Going slow. On the other side, it looks not so rounded. So this side, it's like a snail.
Yeah.
So cute.
The other side, can you
Other
see
side
the
is
bending on the other side? Oh, not so
little
much.
bit,
The whole thing
yeah.
is boctroidal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have this really nice one.
This is azurite. Yeah.
Yeah. Malachite with azurite.
Wow, look at that.
They tend to occur together anyway.
They are best friends. So if you can remember, malachite and azurite are best friends.
Yeah, this is a nice piece.
Oh,
This
look at
is
the
like
color.
a earth color, earth color.
It's like Gia, some movie, green and blue. Look at that. Look, if I can zoom in and I can make a movie out of this, it's like a movie landscape. Long before time, there was a land. Oh, look at that. Far, far away. Oops. It's like a land, like a texture. Now it's dark, like this. Oh, look at that. And we can make a small little miniature cartoon walking around.
Yeah, so azurite and malachite also tend to occur together. You brighten up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Stephanie likes it. Yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
like it too.
It's really
It's one of our
cave,
favorites,
the cave.
Like and it's also like it's just formed in different shapes because they are massive rock pieces.
Can make a movie out of this.
Yeah, and the chemical composition is not too far away. That's why they can kind of like form together.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, so it's really nice. Okay, and another one.
Okay, another one. Oh, hang on.
This is
Let me zoom out.
it's an ornament. Like literally, it's an ornament. It's actually a jewelry box.
Okay, this is malachite jewelry
box.
Look at that. It's like, this looks like a Groot from Avengers. No. The eyes. Oh no, what's that? Space. Okay, so it's beautiful. Look at that. How they utilize all the patterns.
Yeah. I like this material because it is very big and you can actually play around with it, do really nice things with it, and make it to your toilets and your kitchens.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so if the inside is also malachite, I think it will look really, really nice. Instead of like putting a layer of fabric and all that, you know. So this is an example.
Very serious like this.
Simple,
this
simple material.
Mm.
It looks really, really nice.
So
Yeah.
you can see that gem materials have so many uses.
So lastly, I just want to show you something that is not quite natural, okay, but looks exactly or looks pretty much like the natural ones. So these are all the
so
I
those
won't say synthetic, they're just man-made materials in blocks like this, okay?
if you all are going to renovate your home soon, solid surface top.
It's possible, it's possible.
Look at that. Solid surface, it's like ceramics.
Ceramic, it's just colored
ceramics.
Yeah,
very
but
beautiful.
even colored ceramic, we can put specks of copper or something
like
to
this.
make it look like it's pyrite.
Look at that. Can you visualize your bathroom with this? Wow, very nice. This one, it's totally.
This is almost like the chili material.
Turquoise.
Yeah. And how would it look like if it is?
Okay, now we show you some cut into cabochon.
Materials. Yeah.
This is ceramic also.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Small.
blue. Wow. Looks. Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah. Root. Guardians of. Okay, look at this. This is ceramic. Ceramic. Let me zoom in.
Put this together. You show that.
And show you the rough.
So it looks like really like a natural one if you, you know, if you're not holding it, if you're just looking at it in the picture, in a photo or something. And even the other piece looks like a natural piece
This
because
looks
of
like
the
pyrites.
Yeah, it looks like pyrite.
Wow.
But if you zoom in further, like under a microscope, you'll be able to see that the golden specks, they don't have the pyrite crystal shape.
Let me try to zoom in. Some more. Oh, I can't. This is the maximum. So they don't have a crystal shape.
Yeah. So,
Alright.
Yeah, one of the telltale signs of the material that is not natural is the back of the cabochon. Usually the back of the cabochon is polished. Usually. Yeah.
Normally, yeah. But for lapis, mostly also is natural, are polished.
Yeah, but
only
they don't polish fully,
See,
you know, they
this.
leave it
so well
matted
polished.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the back of the stone.
Yeah.
You can tell a lot of its origin.
Yeah. And we're going to show you the imitation for turquoise as well. So this one has got the sinking in. It's actually glass, it's not the ceramic material.
Oh yeah, it's glass.
This is the, like plastic.
Okay, this
we call
is
it paste.
glass.
Paste, yeah. The paste, this is the paste material.
Back of it is like sinking in.
Yeah.
See a rim?
It's so clear, you will try and use the reflector light.
Yeah, try.
Yeah. So for materials like this kind, which is a paste, right? You actually can see at the base, it kind of like sink in a little bit because of the material. So it sinks in, and this most likely made from a mold. It's like, you know, ice cube mold. So it's like from one of those, and then the material sinks in when it cools down.
Next one is.
The other one is the polished material of this polished version.
This is ceramic, right?
Yeah.
Well, it looks actually really good.
Yeah, it looks very natural. But again, this, if you look at it under the microscope, the material itself is not like the natural one, which is the whole thing. How do I explain? If it is reconstituted, there will be it will look like it's polycrystalline. It looks like polycrystalline like this. Okay, so it looks different. Yeah. So, and last but not least, even malachite. Okay, even malachite.
Malachite. Wow, this is looks totally natural. It's the malachite synthetic.
Yeah.
What material is this, Wayne?
Same. It's the same as all this.
It's
like
ceramic.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, so these are
ceramic.
all the imitation.
Green ceramic. This also will look really nice. So, Andrew, you can make this for your toilet. You know, your sink.
Cheaper.
Yeah, and looks good too.
I'll consider.
You can see that it's not bending. You know, the bending is different.
Yeah.
Huh? Wow.
Okay, so that's all for this evening.
Yes.
That's all we have to show. Does anybody have any more questions? Hope we answered your questions just now.
Like this. So nice. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, hi Marjan. Joining us on Facebook Live.
Yes.
All the way from Myanmar.
Yeah, we have friends from Myanmar. Okay, if we don't have, are you showing this?
No, just background, at least something to see. You know.
Okay, I stop share and you can come back into the screen.
Okay.
Yes, thank you everyone. Hope you enjoy yourself this evening.
Yep.
Yeah, and continue to send us questions if you have any questions. Okay, and sign up for the next webinar. It is on our website already, so you can get the link from our website for
the last
webinar.
final one.
Yeah, which is the one on stars. Okay?
Star.
Shining stars. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, Gaurav. I know Gaurav always got screenshot and then put on your Instagram. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, thanks Stephanie, Emerald. Thank you. Thank you, BG and
Thank you
Therese.
so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. So we'll see you next weekend, next Saturday. And yeah, anything else you want to say?
How about the junior rock stars? Do you tell them about it? Or just like I told them about it already?
I also told them about it too much. You know,
okay.
Like the green toilet.
The green toilet.
Andrew, you have anything you want to tell them?
No, see you all next week.
If any of you use any of these gems for your house or your office, please remember us. Send us a photo.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be very excited to see a kitchen top that is malachite. No, but actually kitchen top malachite it's poisonous, you know, malachite. Yeah, so maybe not a good idea to do for.
That's what they use
for kitchen
toilet.
top. Toilet. So actually you need to know about these materials before you use them, you know. Yeah. So okay. Take care.
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.